All right, guys. So we're going to be going through the shot lists. We have a couple of different shot lists available. The first shot list that we released was your camera settings and your gear. Now that you have your camera settings, now that you have your gear, now we're going to be going through all of the shots on exterior, interior properties so you know what the photos need to look like. So we're kind of going to be going through roasting some of the photos and also going through some of the trademarks as to what good photos need to look like. This way, you could get on a shoot as soon as tomorrow, and your photos are going to look good every single time. So, let's start first with the exterior photos. With your exterior photos, keep in mind that this is going to be the primary listing photo for the agent. So, getting a quote unquote good front photo is super important. Every single real estate agent is going to be looking out for this. Okay. Because the first thing that their clients are going to see, and anyone that's interested in the property, the first thing that they're going to see is the front photo of the house. So it's important that this one looks good. As you can see for this one specifically, we are not angling up towards the house or away from the house, or we're not distorting the house whatsoever. It's completely geometrically even. So it's in the complete middle of the photo. Do you see the space from the top of the photo to the middle? And the top of the photo to the middle is completely geometric inside of the actual image. And the home is not being distorted whatsoever at all. This is important because if you distort the photo, whether it's the colors, the angle, the way that you're shooting the photo, if you're taking picture profile, any of the things here that distorts the photo whatsoever, agents are not going to like. Agents are going to want to make sure that the house looks big, pretty, bright, and beautiful. That's what they want. So the shots that you're going to want to capture for your exterior photos are going to be a straight on photo just like this, angled from the left and from the right. So pretty much you're going to take a photo straight on at the house, and then you're going to walk to the perimeter of the house and take one at a right angle, and then you're going to walk to the other perimeter and take one at the left angle. This way you're seeing photos that are angled straight on, one from the side and one from the side. So if you can see the camera of me on the bottom, it's going to be straight on, one from the side, one from the side. This way the agent has an option to choose, because not every house looks this good from the straight on. Sometimes there's a tree, sometimes there's something else, maybe even a car in the driveway. A lot of the big rules for real estate photography is you want the car out of the driveway. You want the garbage cans out of the driveway. You want any debris. You want to do that extra work for the agent. And the more likely you are to do that extra work and care about the photos, the more likely the agent's going to actually have you back and shoot all of their listings. Okay, so for your exterior photos, you're going to want to elevate your camera. So as opposed to the interior photos where your camera is going to be at your waist, you're going to want to make that camera a lot higher for the exterior photos. That's so that you're not distorting the photos whatsoever. So you're not angling up or angling down or angling sideways, because you want the house to look geometrically perfect. So that's why we elevate the tripod on the exteriors. So elevating the camera is going to help you balance the home. So you see how the home isn't like angled on the right or angled on the left. It's not angled up. It's not angled down. It's straight on, perfectly geometrical. This is what you should be looking for every single photo. And this house should be taking up at least 50% of the photo in the middle. Okay. It should be in the direct center of the photo. It should be the main piece of every single front photo. It's just the big front of the house in the absolute middle of the photo. And to be honest, this one's even a little bit too spread or too far out. You probably want this a little bit more close up. Cool, guys. So exterior back is going to be the same exact thing. Same rules from the front are going to apply on the back. So as you can see here, we're directly pointing at the back of the home. Everything's geometrically perfect. And the only critiques that we have on this here is just leaving things like this out. Right here, you could see this little toy bench. We probably should have removed or virtually removed after the fact with our editor. But this back photo is not only to show the actual home, but to show the patio of the home as well. Okay, so you're going to want to take a straight on photo of this, 2 side angle photos as well. So same thing as the front on, angle. The back is going to be the same exact thing. Okay, then you're definitely going to want to show the yard and the patio as well. So when you're looking at the exterior back, we obviously want to show the actual home, but you also have the feature of a patio. So you need to want to be able to show the actual patio and the patio photos as well. We're going to dive into what this stuff looks like right now. So you're going to want to lower your tripod. Yes, you are on the outside, right? You are exterior, but in the patio, you want to capture the space. Okay, so you want to lower your tripod down to to around your belly button. Okay, so you're going to want to face not only the house with the patio, but also the backyard. So you can see the view on the patio from the backyard and the view towards the home. Okay, right here we just have an example of the view out, but again, you would have the view towards the home as well. Now, the interior photos, we're going to walk through what every single room is going to look like. We're going to zoom in so we could kind of dive deep into all the angles that you'll need in each room of the home. So as we dive in deep here, I'll go through the room verbatim or through the whole house verbatim on what I would do. So you enter the house through the foyer here. Okay. So as you enter the house through the foyer, you're going to have a straight on shot and an angle shot. This angle shot is going to be following the 2-wall rule. This way. Okay, so you're going to use your 2-wall rule. We're going to be talking about what this 2-wall rule looks like in a moment, but I'm just going to be pretty much sharing the philosophy of how to actually take good photos in general here so that you could truly see what those angles look like, because sometimes a lot of people get confused. They see their angles in the photo, but I'm drawing these arrows so that we could truly see what the angle is, like what we're actually doing and where we're facing. So if you're just fundamentally look at this living room right here, we're going to have 2 straight on shots no matter what. Then you're going to have 2 angle shots because we want to show this side of the room and this side of the room. So we're just going to rotate corners. But if you really want to go on your first shoot, just overshoot, make sure you get absolutely everything, you're going to do every single corner then. Okay. So you'll have this corner, straight on, this corner, straight on, this corner, straight on, this corner, straight on. That way you get every single angle humanly possible. A lot of people miss angles because they fundamentally don't really know what that stuff even looks like in the first place. So they just don't know what it looks like to get every single angle. So that's what it looks like. If you guys want to get every single angle, you just jump right into there and then you're all good to go. Now we're going to dive deep into the 2 main angles in every shoot. This is your 4-wall rule. So you're going to have 2 walls in every single shot that should meet together in the middle of the room. So I'll give you an example of what this stuff looks like. This is a straight on shot because you're looking straight on into the room. Okay. Right here, the camera's at around our waist or belly button, and everything looks really good. Kitchen photos are going to take a lot more photos. You're going to have straight on photos and angled photos, but this is your 2-wall rule right here. You have 1 room or 1 wall, and then you have your second wall right here, and then those walls meet in the middle. That is how you keep a perpendicular photo that's symmetrical for every single room. No, the reason why you have angled photos is because agents are going to want angled photos and straight on photos because it creates a variety and it shows the room from different spaces. For the kitchen photos, you're going to start with a straight on shot that shows the entire kitchen, take a couple of angled shots, and finish with a straight on shot positioning from the island of the cabinets looking out. So every single room, if you don't know what to do, you just follow this framework that I just walked you through. So corner, straight on corner, straight on corner, straight on corner, straight on. Every single room has a corner. Every single room has a straight on. If you get really confused and flustered, just do that. Literally just stand in the corner of a room and point your camera to the other corner, and that is a good photo. As long as you follow the settings and the gear and the tips and tricks we have of our previous videos. Kitchen photography, again, the same way we'll look at it through here. Here's the kitchen. So as you can see, we have a straight on, corner, corner, straight on, corner, corner, straight on. So any angle you have, you just stand in the corner and take a photo of the other corner. And everything else will come into place and you could frame it accordingly. But that is sort of like the Cliff Notes version of what it looks like. Okay, kitchen photography, we have a good idea here. Same thing with living room. We're following the same exact fundamentals in every single room. So your main rooms are living room, kitchen, dining, bedrooms, and bathrooms. All those photos are going to be very similar besides for bathroom. Bathrooms are going to be a little bit tighter, so your angles are still going to be the same. Fundamentally, they're the same. But it's just going to be a little bit closer. That's why 12 to 14 millimeter is super important for your camera to have that as an option. Make sure to blur yourself out of the windows or the mirrors here. You don't want any reflection whatsoever, okay? But let's hop right back over to living room photos. So you're going to have 2 straight on photos and 2 angled photos. The reason why I have an angled photo here is because I want to show you guys what the symmetry of the 2-wall rule looks like. When you hear me say the 2-wall rule, this is exactly what I mean. This is one wall on the right-hand side. This is another wall on the left-hand side. Those 2 walls are completely symmetrical and they meet in the absolute middle of the camera or the absolute middle of the frame. Now, let's look at the ceiling. This ceiling is perfectly symmetrical to the floor. So there's a perfect amount of ceiling and a perfect amount of floor because they're completely symmetrical. Imagine if this photo had a ton of the right wall, none of the left wall, huge ceiling, and no floors. It would look horrible, right? So we need to do the inverse, where we actually have completely symmetrical right and left, completely symmetrical up and down, okay? That is the two-wall rule that we refer to all the time. Same thing with the bathrooms, right? So this is a very straight on one. A lot of the times we would remove this door so that you kind of just see the wall. We want to not have as much distortion here, but it's very difficult when you're in that close. Now, when we hop into the bedroom right now, we're going to be able to see another two-wall rule, and the exact same rules apply. So it's not just like I'm making these up for fun. These are the same exact rules that we use to train all of our photographers at our media agency at both of our locations when we were scaling, and now helping hundreds of companies do the same exact thing. So it works. Two-wall rule. These two walls meet in the absolute middle of the room. You have the same exact space from the ceiling to the floor. So they're the same exact size. This two-wall rule is going to apply for every single room that has a corner. And that's important because you can always do a straight-on shot. It is very easy to understand. The two-wall rule has a little bit more variety, and it should be explained like this so you guys, when you're flustered and you're at an appointment or possibly even at your first appointment, you could just remember the two-wall rule and what it needs to look like, okay? Dining rooms and partial rooms are a little bit more detailed. That's because you have other features of the room. So like the two-wall rule here still applies. You have one wall, two wall, but you also have this foyer. And you also have the rest of the floor and the rest of the ceiling. And it's going to be difficult to measure truly. Is it completely proportionate? Is it completely symmetrical? We understand sometimes it's not always going to be perfectly proportional and symmetrical, but the thing you should keep in mind is you're always going to have a centerpiece of the photo. Whether if it's showing a completely empty room, the purpose of the photo is to show the size of the room. If it's showing something like the dining room, it's to put the dining room in the middle of the photo, and you use the dining room as an advantage to really show the space around it. So you're using this as the centerpiece of the photo, but you're also showing that there's a front foyer, that there's a huge ceiling, that there's another room back here, right? So you're showing the space around it while simultaneously showing the dining room, okay? Now, the photos that you'll be taking here are very straightforward. You're pretty much going to do all of those angle shots around in this room. So you're going to have your angle shot here, corner, and then you'd have a straight on shot right at the dining room table, straight on, and then the other corner facing the other side. And it's the same exact fundamentals for every single room, guys. I don't want to beat a dead horse, but it's literally corner, straight on corner, straight on corner, straight on corner, straight on. And you can follow that framework for every single place that you're at. Okay. Now we're going to hop into the extra photos. All right. So you have your basement and your utility photos. Make sure you grab the photos of the utilities. So hot water tank, furnace, electrical panel. This way, if the agent asks for it, then you have it. Make sure you have the front foyer, the entranceway, and the interior entrance and the exterior entrance. So exterior entrance is like the front patio area where like you enter the front door. And the interior entrance is where you open the door up inside and you have an entryway. Obviously, you want photos of that. Make sure you use the two-wall rule and the straight-on rule for that. And again, straight-on and then two-wall rule. But more importantly, like I want to talk about the philosophy of the hot water tank, the furnace, the electrical panel. It is not so much like agents are going to want these things. They're going to specifically request it. But if you make it a habit of doing this at every single appointment, it shows the agent that you really care. That you not only care about what the photos look like, but you care about the utility of the home as well. So that you have enough common sense and street smarts and business intuition to take photos of the things that matter to the homeowners. And if you're able to do that, your agent will go, wow, that person is smart. I trust them to do all my listings because they're not going to miss anything. As opposed to you being before the appointment asking the agent, do you want me to take a photo of the electrical panel, the furnace, the hot water tank? It'll be extra money because they're extra photos. Then that agent's going to go, you're just like, I can't deal with you. I'm just going to find someone who does this dialed in 24/7, no matter what. I know that's hard for a lot of people to hear, but that's the truth. What we're learning is the game of real estate photography. So if you guys want to be kick butt, follow these rules, dive deep into real estate photography, please study this stuff. We have shot lists that are very detailed. If you want this stuff and you literally want to like print this out, bring it on appointments, or you want to print it out and study it, just comment shot list or get in contact with our team, like DM us shot list, We'll send you this stuff right over. We have a bunch of downloadable formats. This is even on our website. You could download this stuff. And of course, we have an entire video breaking down the blueprints of everything that we do inside of the Rep Leadership Program. And now we've helped hundreds and hundreds of businesses implement the same exact photo taking process. Keep diving into it, guys. Keep letting it rip. And we will see you on the inside. Cheers.